Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the chapter Input Modeling of Module 4 in System Modeling and Simulation. Input modeling is very much important in the simulation. So, the input models provide the driving force for simulation. In simulation of a queuing system, typically input models are the distributions of time between arrivals and of service times. Input models include the distributions of demand and of lead time. The distribution of time of failure to a component is an example of an input model. In real world simulation applications, however, choosing appropriate distributions of input data is a major task from the standpoint of the time and resource requirements. So, we require a very good input model to have a good simulation. There are 4 different steps for the development of a useful model of the input. The first one is collection of the data. Second one is identifying the probability distribution to represent the input process. Third one is choosing parameters that determine a specific instance of the distribution family. And the fourth one is evaluate the chosen distribution and the associated parameters for the goodness of it. All the 4 steps have been listed here. So one by one I will be discussing about the steps in detail. So the first step is collection of the data. So data collection is the data collection is very much important. We need to collect the data or the substantial data which is required for the simulation to be done. So data collection is one of the biggest tasks in solving a real problem, and it is one of the most important and difficult problems in simulation. The focus of input modeling is on the statistical aspects of fitting probability distributions to data distributions that will later provide the driving inputs to the simulation. However, before fitting can occur, there need to be accurate and relevant input data available, and properties of the data need to be well understood. Too often, data are handled to input modeling software, which will always fit some probability model to data, whether it is justified or not. So, data collection is a very much or very needed or essential thing in simulation or in the input model. So, input model requires the first step, which is data collection, and here the data can be of different types. See, we have been listed with 4 different types of data, that is state data, unexpected data, time varying data, and dependent data. All these data has to be collected based on their properties. Some of these data can be state data, some of the data can be unexpected, some of the data can be time varying data, and some can be dependent data. For example, the data which is something of time varying, so according to the time changes, the data or the values of the data also may keep on changing. That is something of time varying data. And if we see something of dependent data, the data whatever we have obtained for a month, that may infer or result in the output of the next thing. So that is something called as dependent data. So there is something of a very much necessity or things to be taken care while collecting the data. So we can have different categories of data, and there are few suggestions which have been given during the collection of data, because data collection is very much important and is needed for the input modeling. So here the first suggestion been given is a useful expenditure of a time is in planning. So a proper planning has to be done for obtaining the data or collecting the data. So try to collect the data while pre-observing. Devise forms for this purpose. It is very likely that these forms will have to be modified several times before the actual data collection is being done. So please have a proper planning for collecting the data. Next suggestion to be given is been given as try to analyze the data as they are being collected. So whenever you collect the data, try to analyze the data whether the data is adequate or the data is proper, and the distributions needed as an input to the simulations. Find out whether any data being collected are useless to the simulation. So if any useless data have been collected, try to neglect it. Next, third suggestion being given is try to combine homogeneous data sets. Homogeneous data sets is something of similar kind of data can be neglected. Next suggestion being given is be aware of possibility of data censoring, in which a quantity of interest is not observed in its entirety. So if you have something of data being collected which is not of interest, please neglect the data. So collect the data which is only for your interest and which is particular for the simulation model which you are going to use. Next, fifth suggestion is to discover whether there is a relation between two variables. So identification of the relationship between the variables is very much required. Next, sixth suggestion is consider the possibility that a sequence of observations that appear to be independent actually has autocorrelation. So see whether the data being collected are autocorrelated or not. And the last suggestion, that is seventh suggestion being given, is keep in mind the difference between input data and the output or performance data, and make sure to collect the input data. So there are few suggestions being given and the suggestions have been already listed here. So you can see the suggestions. So the suggestions are somewhere here. We'll move on to the next slide or the next topic, that is something of probability distributions. So probability distributions is very much required here, and in this probability distribution we will be going to see or studying two things. One is histograms and selecting the family of distribution. So probability distribution is, as of now or till now, we have done many concepts or come across many concepts, and in the concept we have come across distributions or probability distributions. So these distributions can be something of discrete data or the continuous data. The discrete data and the continuous data can be displayed in the graph called as histograms. So histograms have been used, or a graphical representation which is used for displaying the discrete data or the continuous data. Next, when we go for selecting a family of distribution, we have large range of family of distributions. Some of the families of the distributions have been listed here, as you can see here. So some of the distributions are binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, normal distribution, log normal distribution, exponential, gamma, beta, Erlang, Weibull, discrete or continuous uniform, triangular, and empirical distributions. And each distributions are having their own properties, and which is already been seen. So it is very much required for selecting the family of the distributions, or with the model where it belongs to, or the simulation what you are going to come across or do, whether the family belongs to which kind of distribution. So which is very much required. Next, we move on to the next slide, that is the parameter estimation. So here parameter estimation is very much required in as the third step for the input model. So input model requires 4 steps. Already we have discussed 2 steps. One is collecting the data and understanding the distribution. Next is something of parameter estimation. So parameter estimation is, as soon as we go for something of as soon as we identify the distribution, we go for the parameters. So here in the parameters we can see preliminary statistics, that is very simple statistics. What we apply here is something of sample mean and sample variance. So how do we calculate the mean and how do we calculate the variance has to be known. Calculation of mean and calculation of variance is very much easy. So few examples have been given in the next videos. Will be uploading that video later. Now here we will be seeing how the parameters are being estimated. So according to distribution we can go for the sample mean. So sample mean is the parameter which is being estimated, and next we can go for sample variance, another parameter which is related to the statistics. Another table you can see here where it has been given here distribution, parameters, and suggested estimators based on the distributions whatever we have listed in the previous slide. It may be Poisson distribution or gamma distribution or exponential or log normal or Weibull distribution or any kind of distributions. So the table whatever has been given here, this table is already predefined by some of the researchers, and they have given the 3 columns. One is distribution, parameters, and suggested estimators. So name of the distribution has been mentioned here. Next column is the parameters. So you can see in some of the distributions they have been used with only one parameter, and sometimes they have used 2 different parameters. In gamma distribution you can see they have used 2 parameters, that is beta comma theta. So they have used 2 distributions. So the value of the beta value and theta value can be obtained by the table, that is A.9, which has been mentioned in appendix A.9. So these are the distributions whatever we have and the parameters and suggested estimators. Now we move on to the fourth topic, that is goodness of fit test. So in this goodness of fit test, it is the test being done whether the estimators or the process whatever we have taken is proper or not. So here the goodness of fit test is something of an hypothesis testing. So testing whether it can be accepted or it can be rejected. So goodness of fit test is having three different categories. One is chi-square test, another one is chi-square test with equal probabilities, and the next one is Kolmogorov-Smirnov goodness of fit test. Almost the chi-square test and the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test methodologies we have already come across, and we have solved a few problems related to chi-square test and Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. So similar kind of problems are being listed, and that will be given to you later. So here we will see chi-square test, and in this chi-square test we will be going for Poisson assumption or Poisson distribution. So the problems which are related to chi-square test are related to your Poisson distribution. Next topic we go on to chi-square test with equal probabilities. So we are going to identify the equal probabilities, and for this equal probabilities the distribution being used is exponential distribution. So few examples have been given or problems have been solved based on exponential distribution, and the test being conducted is chi-square test. And next we go to the Kolmogorov-Smirnov goodness of fit test, where again we are going to use the same distribution, that is exponential distribution. So here the goodness of fit test is used to see whether the hypothesis is accepted or rejected. So the basic thing here is, when we see something of hypothesis can be accepted or rejected, we require a critical value, and the critical value is been given by some of the table or the table which is been given at the end of your textbook, that is in the appendix. So as we have already seen in chi-square test and Kolmogorov test, and we have used the table also. So similar kind of problems will be solved in the upcoming classes.